some grand things right there. It's the way laughter fills the room when everybody's finally home. This old story's getting told again, and somehow they still feel new. It's the peace that came from letting go, the smile that shows up out of nowhere. When I slow my pace and take it in, I realize I got more than I thought I had. I don't rush past the blessing anymore. Don't treat the good like it's small. Life taught me joy, don't always shout. Sometimes it's soft and hard. These are the grand things, the kind that make your chest feel full. The grand things, the love that stayed, the moments that pulled me through. It ain't about having everything figured out. It's noticing what's already here right now. Yeah, these are the grand things, and I'm grateful for them. It's the wisdom earned from living, not rushing who I'm meant to be. It's learning how to celebrate the version of me standing here. It's family checking in just because. Hey, Miracle. Unplanned. Funny how the biggest parts of life were right here in my hands. I used to think grand meant far away, somewhere I hadn't gone. Turns out grand was walking with me all along. These are the grand things, the smiles that don't need a reason why. The grand things, the quiet wins that don't make headlines. It ain't about the past, no, racing ahead. It's gratitude living where my feet are planted. Yeah, these are the grand things, and I choose to stand in them. Always loud. Sometimes it's still. Hey, honey. Standing in it. Take a look at your life. Don't rush past it. There's something grand right there. Well, hey, everybody. It's Mother Teresa back with you once again on a Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Actually, it's a little bit after 7, but we're going to claim 7 o'clock. And listen, everybody, I want you all to get your favorite beverage, whatever it may be. Get your favorite snack, whatever it may be. Also, share this live, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. Share the live and get ready to talk about the smiles that don't need a reason why. Absolutely, honey. Let's talk about still becoming or closing a season, this season that we're in, and getting ready for the next season, okay? So listen, you all, I'm trying to do this simultaneously. So if it feels like I'm looking at you or if it doesn't feel like I'm looking at you, I'm trying to do both of these cameras at the same time. Now, I know that there's got to be a better way of doing this, you all, and I will figure it out eventually. But until I can get that, hey, Chase, until I can get that figured out, we're just going to make it do what it do, okay? And so, listen, everybody, I know that there's a lot, I say this almost every time, there's a lot going on. There's always going to be a lot going on. But here's the beautiful thing about it.
is that seasons change. And I talk about seasons a lot. I talk about how different things, when it's time to change seasons, we have to learn to change, our clothing change, just a whole lot of things. But sometimes we got to learn that when there are changes in seasons in our lives, we got to be able to roll with the punches, you all. And for some of us, we have prepared well for the next season that is happening in our life. And then for some, we have not prepared at all. And so, and when I'm talking about seasons, I'm not really talking about the weather on tonight. I am really talking about the things that is maybe going on, some of the things that's happening in your life and some of the things that you may be going through or some of the things that we are experiencing. And so when we are experiencing certain things, you all guys, we got to know that it doesn't last always. And so because it doesn't last always, we've got to understand that it's going to pass, it will pass. And I'm going to ask you this question again: how many of you all are prepared for the next season? How many of you all really prepared for the season that you're actually in? And when we talk about seasons and we talk about becoming, becoming means that you are moving, you are progressing. Hello there, my sugars, Chase and Angelo. Hello there. You all are watching. I hope you all are watching on the big screen and you all are seeing what mommy does. And let me just say this: part of becoming is me doing what I am doing right now. I realize that, first of all, this is a season in my life. This is just a season, okay? Just a season. I'm not going to do this always. I haven't always done this. Uh, do live broadcast and do all these different things. Hello there, my mama. But while I am doing it, you all, I am going to so enjoy what I am doing. And I realize that what I am doing, it takes God to be able to give me the will and the determination and the I whatever the guts, the fortitude, whatever you want to call it, to do this, because this is not, well, it is kind of what I do. I was about to say this is not what I do every day, but I talk to people. That's what I do. That's my job. That's my occupation, is that I talk to people. I listen to people. And because I talk to people and I listen to people, basically this is just a natural progression for me. And I really, really enjoy it. I really, really do. And so as I am enjoying this in this season in my life, again, like I said, I know it's not always going to be, so I'm going to enjoy it while I can. And I want to encourage you all that whatever you are doing in this phase, in this time in your life, you all enjoy it. If it's not enjoyable, then I'm going to challenge you to figure out why it's not enjoyable, and I want you to do something different. You all, life is but a vapor, okay? It is but a vapor. And so what I want you to do, what I want to challenge you to do, is to figure out, with the time that God has granted you, I want you to figure out what it is that you like to do, okay? And have fun doing it. And if it's not bringing you, and when I say fun, I don't mean like ha ha fun or whatever, but enjoyment from doing what you're doing. If my job is to talk to people and to listen to people, then I need to be able to enjoy being able to have conversations with people. I need to be able to enjoy listening to people and walking alongside them and holding space for them. Whatever it is that you're doing, enjoy it. If you're getting up every morning and you're like, oh, I'm dreading going to work, or I'm dreading being able to do what it is that I am doing in my life right now, then really think about what are some changes that you can make. There are other things in life that you can do, even if you all have went to school for certain things, even if you have a well-paying job, even if you have studied for this or been an apprentice for this or whatever. If it's not bringing enjoyment, you all, then why are you doing it? Because let me just tell you, people say oftentimes that all money is not good money. You know, you can have that six figure, seven figure income, but if it's draining you, if it's causing you to have sleepless nights, if it's causing you to have restless nights, if it's causing stress, then why are you doing it? And you may be like me, which I love my job. I really, really do. But my job can be stressful sometimes, you all. And because it can be stressful sometimes, I have to understand that sometimes I have to be able to pull away and do something different sometimes. And that's why I enjoy doing things like this, because it's talking to people, but it's in a different manner. It's a different manner and it's a different way that I get a chance to have conversations and still feel like I'm fulfilling the calling that God has on my life. Good morning, my friend, Sister Sherry. And so as you are becoming, and this is what I was saying about becoming, that sometimes when we're becoming and we're growing, sometimes that comes with some discomfort. Sometimes the way that we're growing, it's uncomfortable for us because it's stretching us. You know, a lot of times the reason why we get settled in the positions that we are in our jobs, and even sometimes in our relationships, is because we have gotten comfortable and we have gotten complacent. Yes, we've gotten comfortable and we've gotten very complacent. And it's like, you know what? This is not working for me. This job is not working for me. This relationship is not working for me, but at least I know what I got. At least I know what to expect. Okay. At least I know that I'm going to get paid every second and 15th or once a month, once a week. At least I know what I have. Okay. At least I know the people. At least I know what to expect. But guess what, you all? If you are miserable, and sometimes when we are miserable, we make everybody else around us miserable as well. That's part of that becoming, you all. That's part of us becoming who we are. God will begin to stretch us. He will begin to sometimes make us feel uncomfortable. You know, I have been in situations where I had been so uncomfortable about a situation. And I knew it was time to leave. I knew it was time to get out of there. I knew it was time for me to cut ties. But I had gotten so comfortable. And because I had gotten comfortable, I didn't want to, disturb the peace or do anything to, ruffle my feathers and ruffle the feathers of other people. So guess what I did? I stayed there. And then God can begin to continue to make that thing uncomfortable. It got so uncomfortable until I was like, you know what? God, you released me from this a long time ago. I might as well go ahead and free myself so I can be happy. And so many times that's what happens as we are becoming and as the seasons begin to change in our lives, is that we don't want to be unhappy. We don't want to be miserable. We don't want to do any of those things. But guess what? I really and truly believe that whatever God has for you and for us, for you and for me, that He's already prepared the way. He not only has He prepared the way, but He has equipped us with what He wants us to do. He has given us every single thing that we need, you all. And those things that we don't have right now, guess what? He's going to allow us to get the knowledge, the wisdom, the courage, and all of those things so we can become what He has destined us to be. You know, I think that before we leave this world, God wants to empty out everything that He has poured into us, that He has put into us. And we have to empty all of those things out and share that and do whatever it is that God has placed in us. Share the wisdom, share the knowledge, share all of those good things that God has equipped us with. And not only that, the thing that He's going to do, and like I said, sometimes we feel like we can get stuck in a situation and we're stuck because we are not learning, we're not progressing. But wisdom, you all, is earned, it's not rushed. I was telling my son a couple of days ago, a couple of weeks ago, that one of the things that I always prayed for him as a little boy is that God would just grant him with uncommon wisdom. And I heard a preacher on TV, and I can't even think of his name, but he used to come on years ago before I had my son, and he would always talk about uncommon wisdom, and he would say, "Pray for that, pray for that." And so not only did I pray for that for me, but I prayed for that for my son. And I prayed that God would just bless him with wisdom that was just the uncommon wisdom, that he would just be able to soak up things like a sponge. He would be like this sponge that was always just soaking up different things. And I'm gonna tell you, God answers prayers. He definitely answers prayers, because sometimes I have, conversations with my son, and I'm like, how and where did that come from? And it all makes sense. When I say he's a wise young man, he most definitely is. And but I prayed for that. I prayed for that for him, and I prayed for that for myself. And so, and as we are praying and as we are taking things to God, we have to understand that if we pray for it, you all pray believing that it's going to happen. Okay? Pray believing that it's going to happen. Another thing is that when God is stretching us, when God is we are becoming, one of the things I will say is that I've already said that it's uncommon. It's not uncommon. It's uncomfortable sometimes for us. And sometimes we're just humans. We don't like to be uncomfortable. But in order to grow, you all, as I am going forward, we've got to be uncomfortable. And another thing that I wanted to say, Net, as you're listening to me, or Matilda, as you're listening to me, is that when we are letting go, when we are becoming, sometimes there is some bitterness that has kind of crept in. And one of the things that I was just talking to someone recently, and we were talking about when we're letting go of things, or when we are getting ready for closure, or we're in the middle of closing a relationship or a season in our life. Sometimes some bitterness has kind of crept in, and in that bitterness, what begins to happen is that you want to close, or you're trying to have closure, but you haven't let go of the bitterness, or you haven't offered some forgiveness. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I do know for sure is that you can have closure and the forgiveness will come. Okay. Because I do know that when you are finished with a thing, when you are done with a thing, you may be physically done with a thing. Hello there, my friend, Sister Becky. You may be done with the thing, and you have separated or put some distance between you and that thing or that person or that place, whatever that circumstance may be in your life. You're no longer doing that thing, but you're still holding on to some bitterness, and there's some unforgiveness that is there. But I will tell you that you may have allowed the closure to happen, but until you actually allow that forgiveness to really, really take place, that closure is not going to feel like true closure. Yes, you've walked away. Yes, you've gotten out of that relationship, but you're steady thinking back about it. You're steady thinking about, some of the things, some of the hurtful things that may have happened. So you've had closure, but you don't have forgiveness. And so, in order for you to really have that full closure, for that season to really be done in your life, you've got to forgive. And that's part of becoming. We're talking about becoming on tonight. And so, becoming, again, it stretches you. And forgiveness can be so hard for so many people. Because one of the things that we're thinking about, okay, you hurt me. You did something that you should not have done, okay? And you're thinking whatever the situation may have been, it caused hurt. And a lot of times the reason why it's hard for us to forgive people is because we have been really, really hurt, you all. And that humans, when we are hurt, one of the things we want is vengeance. We want to get back at people. We want to pay them back. We want to do all of those different things that God said, let me handle. Okay. And so when you are trying to do all of that, the last thing you're thinking about is forgiving somebody. The last thing you're trying to do is trying to walk away with, and shake the dust off your feet. You're not trying to do that. You're steady letting it keep running and replaying over and over and over in your mind. But I'm going to tell you, I need you to choose peace. You need to definitely choose peace. And I'm speaking to me just like I'm speaking to you. You need to choose peace and stop carrying all that stuff with you and in you, because resentment and hatred and all of that, and that's what unforgiveness really sometimes begins to manifest itself, is that you will find yourself feeling like you hate a person. And we know that that is not of God. We are not supposed to hate anybody. We're supposed to love people. Okay. So we cannot have that in our hearts. Also, one of the other things that I want to say is that as we're becoming and as we're walking into the new seasons in our life, we have to learn that it requires us to be able to trust the process. Trust the process, trust the path or the journey that God has set for you. So many of us, we have our own ideas about the journeys that we want to be on. Okay. Hello there, my niece, Trey. I'm glad you're with us on tonight. We have our own visions of the journeys that we want to be on. And we will plan something out. We will plan, 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 plan. We will have our notebooks, our journals, our everything, whatever, however you keep your notes. You will have it all planned out. Because I know this for me, I'm a planner. So I plan certain things out, and then God says, you may have planned that, but that was not my will. Okay. And so then what happens is, I said my will happens. And, and that wasn't the plan that I had, but that was the plan that God had for us. And so we've got to trust that God knows best for our lives. And if we trust that he knows what's best for our lives, then what's going to happen? We're going to walk according to the will and the direction that he has for us. So as we're becoming, you all, and as we're walking into these new seasons, sometimes we think that we're starting from scratch, but guess what? We're not starting from scratch. We are taking all of the experiences that we have had all of these years, and we are then moving from that. And I believe that nothing is wasted in our lives, Trey. Nothing is wasted. Because guess what? The experiences that you are getting right now in some of the positions and some of the relationships and some of the jobs and the careers and where you are right now, guess what? God is giving you an opportunity to gain all of this wisdom, all of these experiences, all of this knowledge for the next phase of your journey. Okay. So for the next phase of your journey, as you are becoming and we're walking into new seasons in our life, guess what? You're going to be able to go back into that toolkit of all of those experiences that you have. And you're going to say, oh, I remember doing this and I remember doing that. And guess what? Now I need this experience that I didn't even think that I would ever have to draw upon, that I would have to pull upon. And so, and you're not starting from scratch. Let me tell y'all something, sweethearts. You are starting from experience. You're starting from the experience that you already have. So don't discount the things that you're going through right now. Don't discount where you are and what God is allowing you to sit in. Because sometimes that's what it feels like. We are just sitting. We're not progressing. We're not moving forward. We're just sitting. And that's okay. That is absolutely okay. While you're sitting in that thing, God is preparing you. He is preparing you for the next phase where you're going to be able to progress the next phase as you are becoming. And the thing that is I what I do know for sure is that each thing that we're doing right now, we're actually building upon. You've heard of people talk about building blocks. uh you're That's what we have, y'all. We have some building blocks. You're not empty handed. Guess what? You're carrying the wisdom from the things that you're doing already right now. And so, and with that being said, again, like I said, don't look at it and say, oh, I'm wasting my time, or this what I'm doing right now, this is not going to benefit me. Let me tell you, it most absolutely will benefit you if you will just take heed. And then not only take heed, but then while you're doing what you're doing right now, the season that you're in right now, you all get every single thing that you can and be grateful for it. Okay. Be grateful for those experiences that God has allowed you or is allowing you to get. Because when you are grateful for the things and you appreciate God for allowing you to get these experiences and to be where you are right now, guess what? God honors that. Not only will He honor that by making sure that you're getting everything. But guess what? He's going to set you up for something greater. He's going to set you up for something greater. I really, really believe that, you all. Uh, I believe that because that's what's happened to me. Okay. That's what has definitely happened to me. Thank you, Trey. The other thing that I also want you to think about is that the season that you're in and the things that you're going through right now, what are you learning? What are you allowing what are you allowing God to teach you? Thank you, Sister Sherry. What are you allowing God to teach you in this season? And not only sometimes is God teaching you, but what are you gaining and gleaning from other people? Because guess what? Sometimes it's the young folks that can teach us some things, okay? Sometimes it's the mothers that can teach us some things. You know what? Guess what? Sometimes it's the children that can teach us some things. We've got to be open, you all. We're in this age now of technology that it just blows my mind of some of the things and some of the great things that's happening right now. Don't discount those young people. Don't discount those people that are may not look like you, may not sound like you. Don't discount the people that look like this that's over my shoulder, because he can teach you some things. All right. Hey, son.
Hey, Ma.
He can teach you some things. These young people, they are smart. That's nice, Will. They are smart. They are intelligent. And guess what?
$2,000.
Say what?
Got $2,000.
They can teach you some things if you allow them to do so. Okay. So, and I look at Candace just put some hearts on there. Let me tell y'all, these young babies, I look at my youngest grandchildren, and also my OGs and my NGs, my new generation and the older generation. Original, the originals. I think TJ, Shekinah, and Serenity, they are the original grandchildren. And Candace's children are my new grandchildren, or the new generation, or whatever. So, but anyway, I've learned, you all, from I'll make sure he knows that, Miracle. And I've learned so much from these kids. And with the music industry and so many different things. And even with this, TJ was so instrumental in helping me to get this launched and get this started. And not only that, but then I think about, I'm going from my oldest grandson to my youngest grandson. The girls, I'll talk about you all another time. But I watch Bean, and you all, that is a little genius. He really, really is. He's a little genius. And he amazes me with the things that he is able to do, and the knowledge that this little bitty boy has in his head. And so if I can be amazed by this little young child with all the knowledge that he has at his age, and all of the things, the seasons. Now, he hadn't had a lot of seasons, but in the way God does things, you don't need a whole lot of seasons uh, before He equip you with a lot of knowledge. And so, what I will tell you, as I was talking about the knowledge and being able to glean from different people, it doesn't matter if they're older or if they're young. If you can get something from a 6-year old, from an 18-year old, from a 20-year old, I'm 62, but guess what? I'm not too old to listen to these young folk, because they're going to help me out. They're going to definitely help me out. So you all do the same thing. Please, please don't discount these young people. The next thing I want to ask you is, what do you need to release right now in your life before you move forward? Because let me just tell you, some places that you're going, or some seasons, and some as we are becoming, there's some stuff that we can't take with us. There are some people that we can't take with us. There are some habits that we cannot take with us. There's a lot of things that we may need to kind of discard, to get rid of. Okay. And it's not saying that it's all bad, but I'm just saying sometimes when we are moving into a different phase, it's going to require some different things. Okay. It's going to require that we pull off some things, that we put on some things. We can pull them off, but we may have to put on some things. So I'm going to ask you, what do you need to release? Or what do you need to acquire as you are moving to this next phase in your life, as we are still becoming? Okay, as we are still becoming. And also, what type of person do you want to be? Sometimes we can look at ourselves, if we take an honest look at ourselves and really do self inventory. Y'all, this is hard for us to do. I know it's hard for me sometimes to really take a good look at myself and say, you know what, self, Teresa, there are some things that you really, really need to get a handle on. There are some things that you need to let go, but then there's also some things that you need to pick up or pick back up. Okay. And so, for some of us, it may be something simple. And then for some of us, it may be something that's really, really hard. It may be really difficult for us to either pick it up or put it down. All right. But you got to do it in order to go to this next season as we are becoming. Okay. And so I know that my time is over on tonight. I try not to keep you all no longer than about 30 minutes. But I will tell you is that nothing that we have, that you, I, or anybody who's watching, there's nothing that you have experienced in your life that has been wasted. God doesn't allow us to waste our time, really, or His time. Because remember, I said what's happening is that we're gaining. we're gaining knowledge, we're gaining wisdom, we're gaining experiences that we're going to need as we are becoming. And so, and as we are becoming, the wisdom and the things that you're picking up on this journey, guess what? It has not been wasted. If it shaped you, it served a purpose. If it has given you anything, it has definitely served a purpose. So again, don't feel like you're wasting time. Don't feel like, you're just they call it something, is it bidding time, biding time? Don't feel like that. Just know that where you are, okay, where you are, get everything that you can get out of it. And if you're not in a place where you want to be, pray and ask God to move you into the position that He wants you to be in. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you all. Sometimes God will say, not yet. I don't want you to move quite yet because I'm not done building you. I'm not through equipping you. Okay? Equipping you. All right, I'm glad you needed this. Okay. I'm not done with you. I need you to stay right there. It's like you're on the potter's wheel. And sometimes you all know that when we're on the potter's wheel, we can get, like they say, the clay can get, what is they say, mired or whatever. It's not quite what it needs to be. It's not quite what it needs to be. So we can't take you off the potter's wheel, or he can't take us off the potter's wheel, because guess what? There's a little bit of defect. Okay. And he wants to be able to get all those defects out and make you into that beautiful, whatever it is, vessel that you will become. So again, don't feel like you're wasting time. Just stay right there until he, gets ready to move you. But it's nothing wrong with praying and saying, God, I'm really ready for something different in my life. Okay. And trust me, I know that when you're ready for something different in your life and you start praying and you become really, really sincere with God, God hears our prayers, you all. I was just talking to a friend on my way to work, on my way home, and I sat in the car and she gave me her testimony and I gave her mine. And we were just talking, and she said, you know what? We could be on this phone for hours just talking about the goodness of God. And that is true, you all. When you live a life that you're trying to be pleasing, that's pleasing to God, you all, God, He gives us so many experiences. He gives us so much that we should thank Him for. And he gives us an experience after experience after experience. He gives us all these different things. And I believe that it's a reminder for us that when we are sometimes stuck in situations that seem to be lasting a little bit longer than what you want to be, all you have to do is just remember when he brought you out. Remember the times that he made it all right, that he brought you out, and it was like right in the nick of time. He answered a prayer that you had been praying for such a long time. And so he gives us these testimonies that we can then hold on to, that because when times are lean or when times are hard, or Pastor Osteen reminded me this morning. He reminded me that God has everything already in prepared for us, basically. While I am worried about certain things and I'm thinking about how I'm going to figure this out and do this and do all of this, and he was like, stop it, basically. Stop it, because God has already made the way. And we're trying to figure out a way. There's a song, I can't even think of the name of the song. Some of you all may know it. But oh, while we're trying to figure it out, God's already worked it out. Yes, yes. So I'm going to tell you, listen, while you're trying to figure it out, people, God's already worked it out. So we just need to let that be our testimony. So as I'm closing on tonight, I just want to say that we're going to end this season. We're going to end this part of our becoming with gratitude and not regret. And I want you to ask God to give you the courage to release what is over, what is finished, what is done, and give us then peace as we step into the next phase of our journey as we are becoming. And I want you to also know, as I'm talking about the next phase and the encouragement in the journey, listen, you all, if you all need some daily encouragement every single day, what I want y'all to understand is that Get Soul Notes is available for you every single day. Get Soul Notes. I know it looks backwards on here, but Get Soul Notes. It's available for you every single day with a subscription. It's $7.99 per month, and every single day you get a word of encouragement delivered straight to your phone. It's daily hope delivered every single day, every single day. And so I want you all, if you like what you're seeing here, if you think this is good stuff, guess what? Hey, baby. Hello there, my kinda. If you think this is good stuff, guess what? You can get this every single day. Every single day. And it's just a little short, words of encouragement, but it's available for you. Okay. And if you want to be a blessing to somebody else, guess what? You can gift it to somebody as well. All right. Okay, everybody, listen. Thank you all for hanging out with me today. And I also want to share with you all, like I was saying, God has gifted me and I say anointed me to do a lot of different things. And some of the things I am really, really enjoying right about now. And part of that is, thank you, honey. Part of that is being able to release some music. And it is my healing journey. I'm healing some wounds that were left when I was a little girl. And I'm just going to tell you, it's my journey. It is my journey. And it's the way that I feel, okay? And so I don't mean to offend anyone with the music that I am putting out, because it's not all church music, it's not all gospel music, but it's my story. And in my story, I can only tell it the way that I can tell it. And part of my story, I had to make sure that my loved ones, my mom, was okay with me telling my story. And that's all that I needed for me to be able to go forward. And so not only am I telling my story of when I was a little girl, but I'm also telling some of the stories of some of our ancestors. And so just recently I shared and released the story. Thank you, Candace. I released on today. I think it released today. The Ancestors Cry. And let me just tell you, last night, actually about 12 o'clock, almost 12 o'clock, I was listening to music on no, not Spotify. It was Amazon Music. I had turned on Alexa, and I tell Alexa, Alexa, play music by the other Mother Teresa, or I will say, play I'm Still Here by the other Mother Teresa. And as it was playing, you all, some of the music was playing. Guess what came on Alexa or Amazon Music? The Ancestors Cry. And I was just like, the way that I'm smiling now, it can't even compare to the way that I was smiling this morning at about 12 o'clock. But let me just tell you all, when I think about, and this is a whole nother show, and I know I can go on and on and on. My childhood with my grandparents was such an amazing, impactful part of my life and my journey that I feel like I owe it to them to help tell their story as well. And as I'm telling my story, I'm not only telling my story, but I'm telling my husband's story. I'm telling your story. I'm telling all the stories that have impacted me. So when I think about the ancestors' cry, it talks about them praying for us before we were even born. Them seeing things and wanting things for us, and they couldn't even imagine the things that they wanted for us, but they wanted better. So when I talk about the ancestors cry, I'm talking about the ancestors for everybody. It doesn't have to be the African American ancestors. It's anybody ancestors. And then guess what's going to hit on tomorrow? What's going to release tomorrow is we kept on walking. And so not only did they cry for us, but they kept on walking. All right, everybody. So listen, look for the music on the other Mother Teresa. Like it, subscribe it, and share. Okay. And that would help me out a lot. It will help me out tremendously. All right, everybody. I have talked at long enough. And as my sister Cynthia often says, good night, grandstanders, and I am so glad that you all were with us on tonight. Make sure you share this, okay? I hope I said something that's going to help you as you are becoming, because guess what? We are all becoming, and we're going to enjoy the grand things in our lives as we are becoming. Y'all make it a great night. Bye-bye, everybody. Grand things. This is one of my favorite songs. Y'all, you've got to listen to the lyrics, okay? Listen to the lyrics of this song. It's on YouTube Music, The Other Mother Teresa. Thanks, honey. Thanks, Candace.
When everybody's finally home, and soul stories getting told again, and somehow they still feel new. It's the peace that came from letting go. The smile shows up out of nowhere.
Y'all, I've got my producer over here. Boy, he's rocking. He's rocking and shaking his head. I think this is his favorite song, too. I'm going to turn this camera around in a little bit. The grand things. Grand things, that's right. These are the grand things, and I'm grateful for them. It's the wisdom earned from living, not rushing who I'm meant to be. It's learning how to celebrate the version of me standing here. It's family checking in just because, and joy showing up unplanned. I really appreciate you all. Y'all just don't know how much I appreciate you all being here. Every Tuesday, y'all turn aside and listen, tune in, take it in, and share it. I appreciate you all so much. The grand things. The smiles that don't need a reason why. The grand things. The quiet wins that don't make headlines. It ain't about the past, no. Racing ahead. It's gratitude living where my feet are planted. Yes, these are the grand things, and I choose to stand in them. It ain't always loud. Sometimes it's a deep breath, laughing until you can't sit still. If you pause long enough, you'll see what I mean. There's a whole lot of grand in the life you're already living. These are the grand things. Y'all, my husband dancing in the foyer. Yes, these are the grand things. Stand in the grand things that's happening in your life. Take a look at your life. Don't rush past it. There's something grand right there. All right, good night, everybody. We'll see you on the next time. Bye-bye.